Star Wars Star Pilot. Into the stars. The Star Wars galaxy is a big place, with millions of planets in it, and it is yours to explore. But you are going to need the ride. Maybe you will take a spin in a speedy starfighter. Perhaps cruising in a silver starship is more your style. With luck, you will steer clear of the terrifying superstar destroyers. But in the huge Star Wars galaxy, you need space vehicles for getting around. There are thousands of different ships zooming around among the stars. Some carry just one passenger, while others move an entire army. This book shows you all the important Star Wars spacecraft. Welcome to the galaxy. Step in, buckle up, and enjoy the ride. Droid Control Ship. The Trade Federation is a powerful group of greedy merchants from all over the galaxy. Its leaders fly around in large, donut-shaped cargo ships. The Trade Federation is unhappy with the Galactic Republic, which rules the galaxy. To prepare for war, the Trade Federation secretly changes its cargo ships into battleships. These can carry weapons and robot soldiers called battle droids. The Droid Control Ship is the most important ship to the Trade Federation's fleet of battleships. It contains computers and special equipment that operate the battle droids by remote control. The droids will not work without signals from the control ship. The Trade Federation's leader decided to show the Galactic Republic that they are powerful, so they attacked the peaceful planet of Naboo. Above Naboo, pilots control the droid control ship from the ball-shaped core ship, which sits inside the outer ring. The core ship also contains the ship's reactor engine, but it is not well protected. A talented young pilot, Anakin Skywalker, discovers this for himself when he sets off a chain of explosions that destroys the entire droid control ship. It's Anakin's own words. Oops. Naboo Royal Starship. Inside and out, a Naboo Royal Starship is fit for a queen. Its engines and equipment are the very best. Inside, it is as beautiful and comfortable as any place. Everything is neat and tidy, right down to the ship's wires and cables. The finishing touch is the ship's body. The starship is covered in shiny silver metal, a color only Queen's transport is allowed. Because the Royal Starship travels on missions of peace, it is not armed with weapons. During her time as elected ruler of Naboo, Queen Amidala uses the Royal Starship to make official visits. Her bodyguards, loyal handmaidens, and the ship's crew always with her. Pod racers, gentlemen and scoundrels, start your engines. Pod racing is an extremely extreme sport popular in the Star Wars galaxy. Several dozen pod racers race at a time, ducking and diving through the course at speeds of more than 800 kilometers an hour. Pilots use every skill they have to avoid crashing. One day of a big pod race, you can almost taste the excitement in the air. Or is that the smell of the strong fuels that power these super fast vehicles? A basic pod racer machine is made up of a cockpit or control pod, where the pilot sits, attached by cables to a pair of engines, but no two pod racers are alike. Pod racer pilots add extra bits of machinery to their vehicles to make them faster, and so shave seconds off their race times. Anakin Skywalker is the only human good enough to race. This 9-year-old boy is a skilled mechanic. He improves his pod racer, which he built himself, with spare parts he finds in the junk shop where he works. Anakin's mechanical skills are matched by his amazing performance as a pilot. Pod racing fans are still talking about his victory in a famous Butna Eve classic race, in which he's beat the race favorite Sebula. Naboo Royal N1 fighters. The times in peace, N1 starfighter ships fly alongside the Queen of Naboo's royal starship. But if peace turned to war, they may have to use their twin blaster cannons to get out of danger. One day, Anakin Skywalker hides in an N1 starfighter. He accidentally turns the engines on, and the starfighter shoots into the air. It flies straight into a fierce battle between the Trade Federation and Naboo. Anakin dodges heavy fire from the enemy ships. He uses all piloting skills he learned as a pod racer on his own planet to enter the droid control ship and destroy its engines. This ends the war because the Trade Federation's army is controlled by the ship. Anakin becomes a hero. Slave 1. When Jango Fett is after you in his starship Slave 1, there's nowhere to run and hide. Jango is a bounty hunter. Often he captures people who are on the run from the law and collects the reward for those he finds and delivers. The good bounty hunter needs a ship that can reach anywhere in the galaxy. The ship must have a good load of powerful weapons to use anything in its way. It should also have a secure place to hold captives once they have been caught. Slave 1 is the perfect ship for bounty hunting. Jango stole it from a prison, so it already had onboard prison cells, but he made lots of improvements. The main changes Jango made were the ship's weapons. It already had blaster cannons, but he added lots of extra hidden weaponry, including laser cannons and torpedoes. He also refitted the crew quarters inside the ship to make it even the longest journeys possible. The prison cells were changed to coffin-like wall cabinets to make them impossible to break out of. Jango Fett often travels with his son, Boba. Jango pilots the ship, while Boba watches and learns from his father. Republic gunships. When the Republic's defenders and the Jedi Knights are surrounded by the Trade Federation forces on the planet of Geonosis, the Republic gunships come to the rescue. These ships are a key part of any successful attack by the Republic. They can move army troops right into position. They take off at speed. Each Republic gunship can transport a team of 30 soldiers and 4 speeder bikes to hotspots on the battlefield. Its thick hulls resists enemy fire. It can fly through heavy cannon fire and escape with only a few dents. The Republic gunships can also swoop down and attack ground troops and land vehicles. Jedi starfighters. In the heat of a star battle, every second counts. Jedi Knights like Anakin Skywalker and Obi-Wan Kenobi count on their starships to help them slip through a war zone unharmed. They often fly into battle alongside larger ships like ARC-170. Anakin is training to be a Jedi. His starfighter is small but powerful. It started life as a standard Jedi starship, but Anakin uses his skills as a mechanic to constantly improve his vessel. He removed heavy flight instruments and bulky shields for greater speed and control. He changed its color to yellow to remind him of his old pod racer. Invisible Hand. The Trade Federation's flagship, Invisible Hand, is almost the most advanced starship in the fleet. Its shield and super thick hull help to protect it from attack by enemy ships. In one incredible battle, the leader of the Republic, Chancellor Palpatine, is captured and held prisoner on the ship. Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin rush to rescue the Chancellor. Inside the Invisible Hand, the Jedi defeat Palpatine's captors, but the ship catches fire. Even though it breaks in half, Anakin manages to land what's left of the vessel before destroyed by the flame. Escape pods. There are times when a quick getaway is the best, especially when lives are in danger. For those times, an escape pod is a very welcome sight. Most large starships and even some planets have escape pods. Smaller ships, such as starfighters, have ejector seats. These special ejector seats throw the pilot out of a damaged ship to safety. Escape pods are like lifeboats. Some are only big enough for one person, others are designed to hold many people. Once launched, the pods automatically find the nearest planets to land on. A typical escape pod has enough supplies to keep the occupants safe and alive until they are rescued. Communications equipment means that the passengers can send out calls for help. They just have to hope that their messages are received by someone friendly. Imperial shuttles. The peaceful Republic has been taken over by Palpatine. He is really an evil schemer whose only goal is power. The Republic is now Palpatine's empire, and he has made himself emperor. Palpatine uses an Imperial shuttle and his personal transport. In the sight of Emperor's ship arriving like a giant bird of prey strikes fear into all who hate the Empire. Important Imperial officers also use these shuttles to get around. One of the officers is Anakin Skywalker, who has now become the evil Darth Vader. Palpatine persuaded the former Jedi to join the Vile Empire. Each Imperial shuttle can carry up to 20 troops, as well as cargo. Blasting cannons, shields, and thick hulls protect the ships from enemy attacks. TIE Fighters. The small ship called TIE Fighters are the main starfighters in the Imperial forces. The ships are simple and cheap to build because they are made in vast numbers. TIE stands for twin ion engines that power these small ships. TIE fighters attack one after another, sometimes 100 at a time. A single TIE fighter may be easy to destroy, but for each one shot down, 1,000 more appear. To make these single-seater fighters go faster, there is no heavy equipment on the ships. The only weapons are 2 laser cannons and a ball-shaped cockpit. Often, dozens of starfighters fire their cannons at the same time, greatly increasing their power. Piloting a TIE fighter is a risky business. There is no life support system on board, so the pilots must wear a protective suit. The ships are speedy and move around quickly, but they have no special shields to protect them from enemy fire. The fighters are easy targets from the side because of their large wings. It is a good thing there seems to be a steady supply of TIE pilots. TIE fighters have been involved in many fierce battles with enemies of the Empire, including the freedom fighters of the Rebel Alliance. Millennium Falcon. You wouldn't know it from the battered outside, but the Millennium Falcon is one of the fastest vessels in the galaxy. It is also owned by Han Solo, a one-time smuggler who fights with the Rebel Alliance against the Galactic Empire. The ship's co-pilot is the Wookiee Chewbacca. The Falcon does not look like much on the surface. The hull is beaten and battle-scarred, and the whole ship looks ready for the repair shop. But Han and Chewbacca have made many improvements to the starship over the years. It is even capable of outrunning the Imperial TIE starfighter. The Millennium Falcon is famous throughout the galaxy for breaking speed records. The saucer-shaped craft gets its super speed from its hyperdrive engine, which Han had adjusted to make it go even faster. The starship also carries a variety of powerful weapons, including laser cannons and missile launchers. Han's starship has got him out of trouble time and time again. It may not be the best-looking vessel in the galaxy, but it never lets him down. X-Wing Starfighters. An X-Wing Starfighter is a little ship that destroys the Empire's first Death Star, a huge superweapon. Of course, Luke Skywalker, the brave young Rebel Alliance pilot at the control at that day, has Jedi powers to guide him, but his choice of starship definitely helps him beat the odds. The X-Wings get their name from the shape of their wings. In battle, the wings split into an X shape. At the end of each wing is a powerful laser cannon. The X-Wings are the starfighters of the Rebel Alliance. These speedy starships are equipped with torpedo launchers and have special equipment to help guide the pilot. The Rebel Alliance works out a plan to destroy the Death Star. If the superweapon's engine can be hit by a torpedo, the deadly Death Star will explode. To do this, a pilot must land a torpedo in a small hole in a deep dark trench. The rebel pilots are eager to have it go. Many try, but it is only future Jedi Luke Skywalker, with a little help from Han Solo and the Millennium Falcon, who hits the target. After Luke blows the Death Star to bits, the X-Wing starship becomes a legend among Rebel Alliance pilots. Could this be the best single pilot star ever built? Superstar Destroyer. Many things come in large sizes. Some things come in extra large sizes. But the Superstar Destroyer Executor is so big, it is almost off the scale. It is the largest starship in the galaxy, at an incredible 19,000 meters long. This terrible dagger-shaped giant is an evil Darth Vader's command ship. Its enormous size is a symbol of the strength and power of the Empire. Darth Vader's starship is stocked with more than 1,000 deadly weapons, ready to use in an attack on a rebel alliance. It can also carry thousands of troops, starfighters, vehicles, and other military equipment. The Superstar Destroyer's deflector shield dome helps protect the ship from attack, and the communication tower makes the ship gets its message across loud and clear. The Executor is the first of many Superstar Destroyers to be built by Empire to crush its enemies, but even these ships cannot stop the Rebel Alliance. During one battle, an out-of-control Rebel Alliance A-Wing starfighter crashes into Executor's bridge. The blast damages the Superstar Destroyer's controls. The giant ship can no longer resist the pull of the second Death Star, and the two collide in a spectacular explosion.